Scott, obviously, kind of there'll be probably a high level of offensive execution in this game tomorrow night because, I mean, you guys, 3-point leaders, they're the assist leaders. I mean, you expect a high-scoring game? Or?
Yeah, both of us, two of the best offenses in the country, and we didn't shoot it well the last game. They didn't shoot it last game, so laws of averages, both of us won't have too bad shooting games. But I think, again, credit the Big 12 defenses for that, and things get a little harder in the Big 12.
Does that show that you guys can, win a different way?
Yeah, as a coach, when you can win a game where you're 2 for 15 from three, that you're not always going to make shots, so you got to rely on your defense, you got to rely on your rebounding, and then we did a great job taking care of the basketball with 7 turnovers in 45 minutes.
Scott, was that a case? I mean, when you go 2 for 15, were most of them good shots? Were you having good shot selection?
Well, some of them were good. Some of them were good defense. I think the one thing about the Big 12 is it's if you get your first couple looks as really good looks, you can get on a roll. Unfortunately, the defenses usually don't give you good looks in the beginning.
Kind of starting Big 12 play last year, you had a couple games that didn't go your way. This game did on the road. Does that kind of speak to the resilience of this team? I mean, what's different heading into the rest of Big 12?
Well, I think game against Michigan State, Duke really helped us for that game. And your first road games are always an adjustment, and especially with the transition nowadays with so many players changing schools. So a lot of them come from mid-majors, aren't used to that environment. Freshmen aren't used to that environment. And then as just the team chemistry, it takes time to figure out what you're doing in those situations because you have new people and you don't know how they're going to react or respond. So going through a Michigan State, going through a Duke, I think definitely where you're in a hostile environment and the crowd, they play a big part in games. And when you're not making shots, you gotta find other ways to control the crowd and win games.
Obviously, Caleb played there at BYU. How do y'all approach that when a guy's going up against his former team?
Well, we try to get all the information we can out of Caleb, so make sure that we're on point with what we're seeing, what we're doing, and he's got a lot of respect and a lot of friends there, and same thing with like Jalen Bridges and other players. They can help out because they know things.
What do you see from BYU?
Well, prior to the Cincinnati game, their numbers were flawless, and then with Cincinnati, again, they missed shots that they've made during the course of the year, and it's a team that has a lot of depth, has a lot of different weapons. Similar to us, a lot of people can hurt you, and what makes them unique just would be as many skilled players as they have. And then Coach Pope does a great job offensively with a lot of hard to guard things, and defensively a lot of size, strength, physicality.
I mean, it seems like in the Big 12, there's always like a different challenge every day in terms of like what you see.
Yeah.
I mean, with a team that shares the ball as well as they do, I mean, what kind of challenges does that present?
Well, I think the key to sharing the ball is they can get assists because they got a lot of guys who can make shots, and then when everybody's extended, now you get the back cuts and you get the easies, and you got a lot of depth in the center's position where they all bring something different to the table, and that makes it hard to scout against because you got to prepare for different type players. But at the end of the day, the better the players, the more assists you're going to get because the more people that can make plays, especially if they're playing together as a team, and they do that in their system.
I know the offense is different, but that Cornell game, does that help you?
Yeah, I think some similarities definitely, and obviously BYU's got Big 12 players and size, experience, and I think that would be the one thing different with Cornell.
Are you glad you have a game under your belt in the Foster before playing a Big 12 game there?
Definitely that first game, a lot of excitement, but also a lot of distractions. Like, where's my locker room from the players and the coaches? Where's our locker? So each and every game should be more and more routine, but hopefully the excitement of being in there doesn't go away. And for the fans that couldn't make that game, and this is their first game and the first Big 12 game, hopefully a lot of still excitement there. And I know we'll get better with everything we do game management wise. And it's a great experience now, and it'll only get better.
As far as Langston goes, he's a bigger guard. He seems like he can be pretty versatile.
Yeah.
How would you ever use him at maybe like the 4 to spell Jalen?
Yeah. That was one thing last game. Oklahoma State was playing 4 guards, and we put him in and went with a 4-guard lineup. It was real effective first half. Second half, not as effective, but definitely that's an option. And the good thing with depth, it's not always your night, but if you have enough weapons, you find people that it is their night.
One of the things they praised on the broadcast talking about Langston was his taking what the defense gives him. I mean, do you see that sort of maturity in his game?
Yeah, I think he doesn't make reads ahead of time like, I'm going to catch and shoot this. I think it's he reads what the defender gives him, takes advantage of that, and that's because the game's slowed down for him. And he's seen enough defenses to be able to identify. And then some nights, again, your shot stretches things out, and other nights you're doing a great job getting to the rim. And the other day he was really good getting to the paint, getting fouled, getting to the rim, and he gives you that big body that's capable of doing that.
Scott, what do you think the excitement level is kind of around both Baylor basketball programs? Obviously, I'm sure you saw the women jumped up to 4 in the rankings. You guys jumped up to 12. I mean, how cool is that to see kind of both succeeding?
I mean, there's only 5 schools that have won a championship in men's and women's basketball, and that's extremely hard to do. And very few schools have both teams in the top 15 in the nation. That's very hard to do. And I know it's really hard to be undefeated. And hats off to the women, what they've accomplished so far. So if you're a Baylor basketball fan, it's a great time to be a Baylor basketball fan. So a lot of excitement. Hopefully, it can continue. No, I mean, he's improved dramatically. I mean, there's somebody coming out of high school that was honestly their second best big, and now he's one of the best bigs in the country, and continues to improve, get better. I think a lot of it's he really worked hard, and they did a great job with him in high school, his high school staff, and I think he's carried over that desire to improve and work hard and get better. And as long as he continues to do that, he'll keep getting better, because he's just scratching the surface. Only 2.5 years of basketball.
Langston, kind of a typical Big 12 game. I mean, you guys had to grind it out, but what did you like about just the way y'all responded?
You know, first we were just blessed to be there. We just thank God for the opportunity to even be there. So, but just the way we responded in times when, we were down, just fighting to the end, that's just what we're made of, I guess, because that's just what we say every day, toughest team wins. And I feel like we were the tougher team on the road, so we came out with the win.
Do you feel like the three-point shooting was just an off night, or was it like Oklahoma State's defense, or maybe a little bit of both? Or
I feel like we just took what the defense gave us. Not every night, since we have such great three-point shooters, people are going to be trying to run us off the line. So we just took what the defense gave us, and in the end, it ended up working out for us. But we definitely, we probably can do a better job of getting more threes up. But I feel like just with the players that we have, I just trust our decisions and just the coach's decision-making and just everything all around.
Langston, was it just flow of the offense that just seemed like you didn't necessarily take over, but I mean, they leaned on you a lot there late in the game?
It was just I saw areas to make plays. My teammates put me in positions. My coaches put me in positions to make plays. So I just feel like if I have the opportunity to make the right decision and just make the right play, and then sometimes it was scoring, sometimes it was passing, but I was just looking to make a play, especially down the stretch, and then in overtime.
Langston, going from a gritty win like that in Stillwater to a top 20 showdown back at home. How do you think that maybe that was the right way to start Big 12 play to kind of carry that over?
I feel like we just need to carry over the toughness and just keep that aspect going because, you know, in the Big 12, you know, some nights we're not going to be hitting threes. We might not be scoring as much. But as long as you have toughness, you're going to be in the game. We feel like with the players that we have and the abilities that we have on our team.
You mentioned taking what the defense gives you. That was something the announcers really praised in your game on the podcast. Do you feel like that's sort of a strength of yours? Like if a guy's leaning this way, you're gonna take it that way.
You know, I definitely feel like that's a strength for me. Just because I don't really ever want to force anything, or just force something unnecessary. So if the defense is gonna give me it, I trust my game and I trust my work. So that's what I'm gonna take.
Langston, kind of heading into this situation last year, I think you guys dropped the first couple games in Big 12 play. What's the mentality? Is it a little bit different after getting that first win? I mean, how do you kind of keep that rolling?
We just want to keep that rolling because, you know, last year when we dropped those games, it almost in a sense puts you behind. But this year we're ahead, especially with a big win on the road. The road wins are the toughest wins. So to start off with a win on the road, we just want to keep that going into our home crowd and just keep the momentum rolling.
With a bunch of putback dunks and a lot of great rebounds, what can you say about the way Eve has improved through the course of the season so far?
You know, I just love to see him do all that stuff because I know he can do it, and he's been doing it all year in practice. And just to see him translate that to the court is just huge. You know, he's a tough guy, big athletic guy, and we really lean on him a lot, and all of our bigs a lot, just to make plays for us as we miss shots and just do different things. Those are the plays that win the games for us.
Do you ever? Not that you're missing a shot on purpose, but like they were actually questioning one of Ray J's shots. Whether it was a
I
pass
saw
or a
that.
backboard. I mean,
Yeah.
Do you ever go, oh, if I miss this, Eve's got it.
You know, sometimes, especially like when you're in that situation, how Ray J was with the big comes over, when the big helps over, it's a split second, so there's no time really for the guard to crack down on the backside. So we know that we throw it high, Eve's gonna go get it.
And we'll probably about to talk to Caleb in a second, but has he shared any insight with BYU just because he was there, and what has he kind of shared with you all about that?
Caleb coming from BYU, he wants to get this win. He just said we need to go out there, just be tough, and just do what we do. There's no real specific answers to this team. We just feel like if we just be ourselves, then the rest should take care of itself.
You guys kind of have had a couple of those games. Obviously Jalen with West Virginia, and now Caleb with BYU. How do you rally around a player like that might have had relationships on other teams with those teammates?
It's just extra emphasis on the game now. We want to fight for our brothers, and with him coming from there, we definitely don't want to lose to them. So we're just rallying behind Caleb at this point. Yeah.
Langston, it may be just the lighting in there, but is Foster as good a shooting gym as it looks like? I mean, between you and the women's team, y'all knocked down a ton of threes.
No, it's nice. It definitely has different lighting than the Farrell. I feel like the rim's more lit up, so you can lock in on it more. So yeah, I really like how they structured that gym, and it's really into our favor.
Are you getting used to, you only get to go over there the day before and then the day of? Are you getting used to that?
We're getting used to it. In a sense, we are. It kind of felt like a road game the first time. Not a road game, but like a neutral site game where our fans just travel to the game. But, as we get more used to it, it's going to feel more home vibe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, is this one extra special for that reason?
Yeah, I think you transfer from a school, you want to beat them. But they got a great program, a great team. So, I mean, either way, selfishly for me, it would be a great win. But also for the team, they're a great basketball program. So any game in the Big 12 we can win is a good game.
Do you still have a lot of friends, connections on that team?
Yeah, I still keep up with quite a few of the guys. A lot of the guys that I played with in the past, and I mean at BYU were great guys. My situation, just I think I needed to be a Baylor, and that was it. But yeah, still great relationships over there.
What do you see in that team? I mean, I know it's been a couple of years, but
Yeah.
kind of your scouting report on them.
They shoot the ball really well. They cut. They're super active. especially when their big gets it at the top of the key. They run all these different motions and pin downs and ball screens, and so fast-paced team on offense. I think it'll be important for us to talk through a lot of those switches and defensive schemes that we're going to have going into the game. But they're a great basketball team, great basketball program, and so it's going to be a good one.
They lead the country in assists per game. Against a team that passes the ball well, does that challenge you in a different way defensively?
Yeah, I think so, because they have a great big who's really, really smart with the ball, and traditionally, I think a lot of teams we played in the past, they've had more traditional rollers, and so with them just being the assist team that they are, keeping your head on a swivel, making sure you're not getting back cut, watching out for guys on the help side, and so, again, they're a great passing team, a great three-point shooting team, so it's going to challenge us.
What did you guys take out of that win in Stillwater? It was kind of a grinded out game.
Just reminded us the Big 12's hard, and every game, especially on the road, is going to be hard. Getting a good first win like that, especially when we're not shooting the ball well, I think was big for us to see. We are a great three-point shooting team, but to see that we can still win when not shooting the ball well is good for us.
Caleb, how was that good maybe for the guys, who had never played in a Big 12 game before? They kind of get that under their belt and have a top 21 tomorrow.
I think just to reinstate that the Big 12 is hard. Every game in the Big 12 is tough. You never know when your name's going to get called, but the whole team's got to be on the rope. Everybody's got to be ready because, to win the Big 12, you got to take a lot of road games. And so I think it was good for us to see that we were gritty, we were tough, and we came out with the win.
Caleb, we saw Jalen go up against his former team last year. Now you're that guy. Langston said they're going to kind of rally around you and try to get you that win. How does it feel to be, that guy with a little bit extra?
It feels good. The best feeling, whether I'm playing my former team or not, is just that I have those kind of teammates, that the chemistry that we have, how close we are with each other. We all want to win for each other. And when you have that on a basketball team, I think special things can be done. And it's fun going to practice with them every day. It's fun going and playing with them. So a special group.